glad that I got out in time. That was just when we were like, oh, we connected the dots. We were like, okay, we see what's going on. This is the finished look. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm just gonna just start off with a little disclaimer. I'm slightly under the weather, so if I sound kind of nasally, it's because of that. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. It's Christina. This video is gonna be me getting ready because I'm going out in a couple of hours with my roommate. So I'm just gonna get ready for that. But while I'm getting ready, I'm gonna talk about like some of my Atlanta horror stories, because it just hit me today that I have a lot to get off my chest about this. I'm just gonna spill all the things that, well, not all, I can only put so many into this video because it does not take me long to do my makeup. It usually only takes me like 10 minutes to do my makeup, but I also have to do my hair too. So let's just get straight into the video. So basically the first story I want to tell you guys is about when I first came to Georgia the first time back in 2022 for my internship. And when I moved here, if you guys are unfamiliar with the MARTA system, it is basically like not the subway, but it's like the train station that runs throughout Metro Atlanta. And you know, you can take it in the morning to get to work and that kind of thing. So I would take the MARTA to my internship every day. So this one day I was on the train and I noticed this guy was making eye contact with me like repeatedly. And I was really just trying to mind my business. I really wasn't trying to engage in anything. But when I got off of the train at my stop, he like started talking to me. And he looked like he just came off of work, like he was wearing some work clothes, like a wife beater and some dirty jeans. So I'm just assuming, you know, he probably does construction or does something in that kind of industry, which, you know, that's cool, whatever. He stops me when I get off the train. He was just like, ma'am, you are so beautiful. He said, is it possible if I can get your information? So naive little me, because knowing what I know today, there's no way I would have let that man get my information. Based off of how he approached me, I should have just kept walking and just said, no thank you, like have a nice day or whatever. But since I was just new to this and I didn't know much, and yeah, this was 2 years ago, so 2 years more experience, more life experience. So after he asked for my number, I give it to him and he texts me like immediately after we leave the train station. And I really don't remember if I thought he was cute or not. I don't remember what I thought. I really don't remember what I thought. However, we just exchanged information and he was texting me. So we were texting for about a couple weeks. And mind you, we were FaceTiming too. So not only were we texting, we were FaceTiming. And when we were FaceTiming, we would get into some like good conversation. Like I'm a conversationalist. I love to talk to people. I love to just, you know, exchange ideas and stuff like that. So when we were on the phone, we would actually have good conversations. So I'm like, okay, he actually seems cool. Where I went wrong was, I found out some information about him that the ordinary person would have went the other way after finding it out. Because basically we got to talking and started to know each other, so we were asking each other more deep questions about each other. And this man tells me, he was just like, yeah, I just got this job after I got out of jail a couple months ago. And see, that's when I should have went the other way. That's when I should have lost the number. However, it's not even that I liked him. I think I just enjoyed our conversation. So even though that's a red flag, I'm not saying that everybody that goes to jail, that's a red flag, but for me, someone who knows what they want, it just doesn't align with my life path. Like, it just doesn't. And that's my preference. So after he told me that he got out of jail, I still talked to him. We still FaceTimed, we still, you know, talked, but we haven't like linked up in person yet. And so it came to a day when he asked me like out. He was like, would you like to go out and do something sometime? And I was just like, okay, sure. And I remember exactly what day it was. It was Juneteenth 2022. And I remember that because it was Juneteenth. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do something for Juneteenth. So on Juneteenth, he was just like, yeah, let's do something. Like, I know someone who can give us access to this rooftop pool. It'll be really fun. And I'm thinking, okay, bet, like, let's meet there. This man is going to text me, yeah, I still don't have my license yet because I just got out of prison. So is it possible if you can pick me up? And I was just like, okay, fine. So he sends me his location. It's only like 20 minutes away from me. Well, that's far. Thinking back on it, 20 minutes is actually far, and I should have just said, no, I'm good. I'll find something else to do. But me back then said, like, okay, yeah, I'm on my way. Like, I'll be there in 20 minutes. So I go all the way over to pick this man up. Then when I get there, it's not a location, it's not a house, it's a parking lot where he said he was like selling like food with his dad. Like his dad had like a food truck or something, so he was selling food with his dad. So when I get there, I see him with like this other guy, and they both start walking to my car, and it's broad daylight, so I'm not really that like sketched out about it. Like, I'm not really that concerned. So they both start walking in my car. I'm like, what's up? And he was like, oh, can my brother come too? You never mentioned a brother. You never mentioned a brother. You said me and you. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves even to this day. If I'm the one driving, you have to let me know beforehand who all is coming. Because there's no way that we're about to show up, that I'm about to show up and you're about to say, can this person come too? Now I look rude if I say no, but at the same time, it's rude of you to invite other people knowing you haven't asked me permission and we're using my car. Like, that's complete, especially as a man, this is completely just not acceptable. But back then, I was irritated in that moment as well. So I knew that back then that I was irritated. So he was like, can my brother come? I was just like, you know what? Sure, I guess, because it's already too late because your brother's here waiting for us both to go to the rooftop pool. So I'm just like, okay, cool. So then after we get to the rooftop pool, he says like, yeah, the guy that I know, like, he's Biggie's cousin, whatever. Like, just naming people for no reason. Like, you don't have to lie. Like, you do not have to, like, it's just weird to, like, name drop people and you have no, like, there's nothing at stake here. Like, why are you lying to me? So that's the first thing that happened when we got there. Then we finally get in the pool, and it's like we get in the pool and it's cool. Like, it's cool. It's like a family atmosphere. It's like an apartment pool, but it's not anything crazy. Like, it's just a normal pool. So we go to the pool. We swam a little bit, you know, it was cool, whatever. And then after the fact, he goes, okay, can you drop me back off at my house? I put in the address to this man's house. It's an hour away from where we were at. And mind you, I'm so mad at this point. I am so mad because how are you gonna be a man and still ask me to pick you and your brother up and then take me to a rooftop for like, we're there for like an hour maybe, and then have me drop you all the way off on the other side of town in my car. So mind you, I'm mad. Like, at this point, and I try not to be confrontational, especially back then I was not confrontational. So I wasn't really saying that much. I wasn't like really arguing about it or saying anything. I was like, okay, come on, let's go. So, but I had an attitude. I definitely remember I had an attitude. Mind you, my car is almost on E because I've been driving across the entire Atlanta metropolitan area. So then after I need gas. So we go to the gas station. This man says, let me get the gas for you. I'm thinking, okay, at least he's gonna pay for my gas. He goes, can I see your card? I'm so like blown away at this point. Like, I'm so blown away. Like, after all I did for you, after picking you and your brother up, after driving you from the rooftop to this, to like, you are asking me to pay for my own gas. Like, I'm not even the type to ask for stuff like that. Like, I don't even care. I would not ask a man to just pay for my gas randomly. But I feel like in this circumstance, the least you could do is pay for my gas since you're having me drive you all around the city. So I'm just livid. So he asked for my card. I reluctantly give it to him, but I give it to him. After that, I was on silent mode. Like, he could clearly tell something was wrong with me. He was like, what's up? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I'm silent because how do you not know? Can you not read a room? Can you not see like what you did was wrong and like why I'll be upset with that? I'm not even doing my makeup. I'm getting upset. I'm getting hot and I'm getting upset. Anyway, and this is just story number one. But with that aside, he doesn't pay for my gas. I drive him the whole hour back to his place. I dropped him off. He tries to kiss me. Mind you, I've never kissed this man. This is my first time seeing him in public. I like raised up my window real quick and he's like shrugging at me, like looking confused, like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean? What's wrong with me? Like, it's obvious. Like, it's obvious. Anyway, mind you, he texted me. I ghosted him after that. And usually I don't ghost because I try to like give people a justification as to why I'm not talking to them anymore. But I feel like this is extremely apparent why I stopped talking to him. And he should be able to read a room and know why I did that. Anyway, so let me continue doing my makeup. I keep forgetting to do it. So I ghost him, right? This man blows me up. I'm talking about, I don't block people. I don't know why. I just get like, I get scared that they're gonna say something to me and I need to know it. I don't know. Like, I'm weird about blocking and I really don't block people. So he's calling me. He's calling me like at least 3 times a day. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Like take a hint. Take a hint. Like, I feel like if I'm not answering you and you're really trying to pinpoint why I'm mad at you, can you not assess your behavior and see what you did wrong? Anyway, so I never answered him again. After that, I never answered him. And I'm not gonna lie to you, a year later, so that was 2022. Summer of 2023, it might have been, was it summer of 2023? It was like sometime in 2023. He called me back and I unsaved his number. So I was like, who is this? So I unsaved his number. But I see the call from an unknown number and I answer it a year later and it's him. He's talking about, hey, do you remember me? Like, we met on the MARTA, like all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh wow, I forgot all about that. he was just like, I really want to apologize to you, like, whatever I did back then. What do you mean whatever you did? You still don't know? It's been a year and you still haven't reflected and known what you did? Anyway, so he said, I know whatever I did, like, it hurt you, and I just want to tell you that I'm a different man now. I would really appreciate you if you gave me a second chance. Mind you, I wasn't even in Atlanta again yet. So there was really no point for me to interact with anything he was talking about. And I'm really, like, I can forgive, but I can't forget. Like, I'll just distance myself. Like, I will forget you exist. Like, if you do something to me that I just think is so messed up and unforgivable, you are like a ghost in my life. Like, I will never talk to you. I will never text you. Like, that's just how I am. I was just like, okay, honestly, I appreciate your apology, even though you still don't know why I cut you off. However, I'm not even in Georgia anymore, and honestly, what you did was unacceptable, and I'm on to bigger and better things. That's basically summed up what I said. I was like, sorry, but like, I'm still not interested, like, you know, because by that time I had more common sense. And then maybe if he did that like a couple weeks after that initially happened, I would have like heard him out more, but I was so over it that I was just like, no, you're through. You are done and you are through. Anyway, that's just my first story time. Okay, next story. I thought I was gonna do 5, but I guess I can only do 3 because that story took way longer than I thought. Story number 2. I met this girl at this spot called Vision. It's just like a lounge, restaurant lounge, whatever. You know, nothing crazy. I went by myself because when I was here, this is still that summer. This is still the same summer I was here for my internship. I met her there and I went by myself because back then I didn't know anyone, and I'm very much like, if I don't know anyone, I'm not gonna let that stop me from doing what I want to do. So I went out by myself and we just started sparking up a conversation. Nothing crazy. If I'm being completely frank, I don't remember how the conversation arose. I just remember we started talking, and then halfway through the conversation she was like, oh, they're having a pool party at my apartment that's right down the street, like if you want to come, let's go. And I don't know what in my right mind thought that was a good idea to go to a girl's apartment that I literally just met 5 minutes before. Guys, this is why I'm telling you, do not do what I do. Please learn from my mistakes, because I have made a lot of mistakes in my life, and this is something that no one should ever do. Like, let me be the example. Like, please don't do what I'm explaining to you guys in the story. So we go to her pool party, or to the pool party happening at her apartment, and it was cool. Like, you know, it was just, we were cool. We got along more, we got more acquainted with each other. And then she was like, let's go together now. My naive 21-year-old self, I was 20. I think I was 20. My naive 20-year-old self was like, okay, let's do it. Like when she said go together, she just meant like, let's do everything together. Like, let's be like each other's, like the person that we each go out with when we go out now and all that kind of stuff. And since I didn't know anyone, I was like, okay, that sounds like something that I would be cool with doing. I found out very shortly after the fact, this girl did not have a car. And that's another common denominator between the first story and the second story. This girl did not have a car. So mind you, after that initial day we met, we exchanged numbers, and every single time that we would do something, she'd be like, hey, like, let's go here, can you pick me up, like, da-da-da. And I would do it, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like it's not even being a kind person at this point, it's just letting people walk over you. So that's another lesson that I had to learn, because you cannot just let people walk over you like that. Like, I'm sorry, you don't have a car, but Uber exists. I know that costs money. Like, I can help you out every now and then, but not every single time. Like, you can't be dependent on me getting you to and fro places. And if you're my friend, this is a different scenario, but I just met this girl like a week or 2 ago. So when we went out, I would always go to her place, and then we would go out. It got to the point where even if we weren't going out together, she would just ask me, she was like, hey girl, I have a chess tournament. Okay, first of all, I'm skipping a lot of important details in the story. Number 1, she worked at KOD. If you don't know what KOD Atlanta is, look it up. That will tell you about her profession, number 1. Number 2, she did like professional chess growing up, which is a combination of 2 very different industries, I guess. Anyway, yeah, very strange. So she would start asking me like, hey girl, like there's this chess tournament I want to do. Can you take me here and there? I'm like, at first I would send her Uber money. Like, guys, I know, what was I thinking? Well, and I only did that once though. I'm not gonna say I did that every time. I did that once because I felt really bad. Mind you, the reason why I felt so bad is because she had a really bad, like a really hard life. Like, she told me a sob story. I don't know if this story is real or fake. but she told me a sob story that was really sad about how like she's almost getting evicted because she can't pay her rent because her dad was abusive, so she had to move to Atlanta. Like, she had a whole sob story. So like that, like people who have like hard lives, all that kind of stuff, it really tugs at my heartstrings because you know, it just really gets to me. So I really try to be a helping hand when I can. Anyway, I paid for like one of her Ubers. Then it just became a habit. Like, she would be like, hey girl, can you send me $20 for this? Can you send me this for this? Can you pick me up? Like, at that point, no. I did it the first time. I would pick her up and we would go out places together. But after that, every time she would continuously ask me to like take her places, I would be like, I'm sorry girl, I can't tonight. I can't tonight. I can't tonight. But she would do it so often. And another thing is, every time we go out together, this girl could not like conduct herself. And that was the biggest red flag. She could not conduct herself in public. She would have like 2 drinks. Next thing you know, she's arguing with somebody over here. She's passed out over here. I have to literally make sure she gets in the car safely, make sure she gets in her apartment safely. Like, I had to babysit her everywhere we went. And I'm not saying don't have fun. Like, we all have those moments. But it was like a every single time we went out type of thing. And I'm the type of person, like, if we're in public, let's act like we know how to behave ourselves. Like, but let's not act like we don't have any home training. Let's act like we actually do have home training and we can conduct ourselves. So that happened a lot too. So honestly, a lot of these things were adding up. But the one thing, I will be completely transparent with you guys, the biggest, I'm not even doing my makeup. I keep forgetting to do it. The biggest reason why I think I like put up with this is because every time we went out together, we had a time. Like, she just was really good at like meeting guys and go out with them, and it would just be like a grand time. Like, we would get picked up in black trucks, and now that's not that exciting to me. Back then that was exciting to me. So I was just like in awe of how she could like get men wrapped around her finger. And because I was shy, you know, I wasn't really social, so like she was the one that would do that, and I would just be her little sidekick. I guess I was a sidekick, I don't know. So that was probably one of the primary reasons why I didn't cut that off sooner. And I can admit that's kind of, looking on my part, that can be kind of messed up. That's kind of messed up on my part for like kind of only putting up with somebody for like what they can provide for you. So I take full accountability for my actions for sure. Anyway, so after, went to a bar once and the line was long, and we see the owner. Well, we don't know it's the owner, but the owner sees us. And for some reason, he picks out us too. He's like, why are you guys waiting in line? Like, come in. He got us a section. He got us the bottles. And after that, the real part about the story is, one night, the guy, owner of the bar, I just said that he got us the section, all that kind of stuff, he invited us out one night. So he picked us up in a black truck. Then we went to this club. And then, you know, it was cool. Like, we were having a good time, all this stuff. And then afterwards, basically, the guy that was paying her rent, she had him pick us up from that place. And not just us two, but the guy who also was the owner of the club that we met the day before, if that makes sense. It's kind of like hard to like explain that, but she had him pick all of us up. And so I was just like, girl, why would you do that knowing that you're messing with both of them? And that just didn't make sense to me. It was like, why do you want the guy that is paying your rent, literally supporting your lifestyle, to pick up the guy that is trying to be on that with you too? We all get in the car. And then at first it was not a problem. Later on, however, we go back. They say it's a mansion party at this girl's house. We go to the mansion party, and then somehow they start talking, and they discover that she's talking to both of those men. An argument erupts. They're shouting, they're screaming, it's just like unbearable, to the point where the girl whose mansion party it was, she kicked her and that guy out of the party because they were arguing that bad. And mind you, since I came with her, I had to leave too. And that just is secondhand embarrassment, because I'm with you and you're portraying yourself like that. That looks really bad on me too. And I was just chilling, talking to people. But anyway, she kicked them out, and then of course I had to go too because we all came together. So that night, that was like crazy. And then basically that was when I really had to start distancing myself from her, because I saw how messy she was. Like, she was entirely messy. And guys, get this, after I moved back to Indiana after that summer, she still starts asking me for money. She would call me and say, hey girl, it's been so long, like I miss you, like I hope when you come back here we can like reconnect. Right after that, like 10 minutes later, she would send me a Cash App request for $20. I'm like, girl, like I see what you're doing. Like, you're just trying to get whatever you can from whoever you can. And that's when I put two and two together. Like, she's just like, that's just her lifestyle. Like, just try to get a quick dollar wherever she can. And I'm not judging that. I know we all have different circumstances, but that was just someone that I learned that I cannot associate with people who just are overly dependent on you. People who are just messy, people who cannot conduct themselves in public. That was what that story taught me. And then get this, guys. So it was like a month after that, like, she called me. And I was like, what happened to that girl? So I look her up and I can't find her. And then, but I had her on TikTok. I realized that she changed her whole name, changed her whole identity, and just portrayed a whole different person on her social medias. I was like, what? Like, I don't know if her name that she told me was real or fake, because that name that she told me was her name, she changed it on all her social medias to another name. So I have no idea what to believe. I don't know who that girl really is. I don't know what that girl really was doing. I don't know. I do not know. But that was crazy, and that taught me a lot of lessons. So guys, do not just befriend people just to befriend people. Be really cautious about who you put in your circle and who you allow in your circle, because you don't want them to be your downfall. You do not want those people to be your downfall. And I'm glad that I got out in time and I moved back to Indiana, so we squat like that washed away. But some people can get like stuck real easily, especially in like the glitz and glam of like all this stuff and all like the nightlife and just like this over glamorized like lifestyle. You can get lost in it, and just don't let that happen to you. So that's my second cautionary tale. This video is getting really long and I have not even done my hair yet, so I'll just tell one more story and then that'll be it, because I realize I'm talking too much, because I didn't realize how much I still have passion about this topic, about how much I really wanted to share this stuff with you guys. But so let me just tell one more story, and this happened since I moved here in August. One second though. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Do not clown me for it being basic. I really do not do the most when it comes to makeup. I wish I knew how, but I don't. So now let's get to the hair. It's looking very much lifeless and stiff, so let's see if we can do something to spice it up a little bit. So the third and final story, this happened right when I first moved here in like September. So I go out a lot to network, to meet people, to socialize, and I was leaving this one, like they were having like this event for entrepreneurs. It was like a cool like little event, and so I'm leaving and I'm just walking back to my car, like minding my business, not thinking anything of it. This man stops me in his car. He goes, ma'am, have you ever considered modeling? Like, you have it. Like, you have it. Like, he is really gassing my head up. I'm like, do I? Like, do I have it, bro? Anyway, so he's just like gassing me up, and I'm just like, thank you, like, da-da-da. And then he goes, I work with, he starts name dropping all types of people. He says, I work with Diddy and his children, and I shoot this, I do this. I know the owner of Fashion Nova. And looking back on the story, the lesson that I learned in this, like right at this point of the story, is if you are like overcompensating with everything you have done, everyone you have worked with, something is off. Because why are you trying to like convince a stranger? Like, you don't know me. Like, why are you really trying to like convince me that you're reputable? You know, like, I feel like if you got it like that, like, let your work show for itself. Like, let me see your website, let me see something that you can prove to me that you really have what you say you have, or whatever. So he's like, you know, he's continuously saying like, I'm opening a modeling agency in Atlanta, and you would be a great fit for our modeling agency down here. I was so naive, guys. I just thought I made it. I just thought this was my meal ticket. I thought I was about to be on the cover on the Fashion Nova website the next week. Like, I really just, he sold it up so much that I really believed all this. So anyway, let me move on with the story. So I'm really just thinking I made it in life. I thought he was really gonna propel me to the next level. And then so we exchanged numbers. He texts me. And I was trying to like do my research, because that's one thing, even though I can be naive at times, or I really, especially back then, I can 100% admit that I was naive. I was still trying to do my research. Like, I'm not just about to let you talk in my face and not me Google you, not me like look up your Instagram, not me try to find some type of reputable source about you. So I do that, and I couldn't find anything. But I'm like, okay, what if his Instagram isn't his name? Like, what if you know, what if he has a stage name or whatever? So I'm kind of like still going along with it. And then, so this man, he finally sends me his Instagram. And when he sends me his Instagram, he has all these pictures with celebrities. A lot of pictures, and I'm not gonna lie, he does have a lot of pictures with celebrities on his Instagram. But upon further investigation, you can clearly tell that it's giving meet and greet. It's giving like, you don't really know him, you just took a picture with him. And that's what I realized, guys. Beware of that. Beware of people who flex on the gram like they know people. But that could simply just have been you went to an event, you ran into this person, you're like, can I take a picture? And then you never talk to them again. And I notice a lot of people here do that. A lot of people here name drop people they may have seen at the mall. Like, they will literally run with whatever clout, whatever reputability they can in order for you to believe them. So keep that in mind. Like, please guys, don't fall for the same stuff that I used to fall for here. So he sends me his Instagram, and I noticed that, yeah, he does have a lot of pictures with celebrities. And at that point, I was like, okay, so maybe he does know what he's talking about. So this man invites me out to go to the the sugar factory with him. And he was like, let's meet so we can discuss like what kind of modeling you'd be into. Like, let's really see like where your niche would be, like what we can do with you. Another thing that I learned, take me as a lesson, guys. What benefit would he get from this? Like, okay, I know that people scout models all the time, but let's be realistic here. Okay, you saw me walking down the street, and you just automatically think I'm the perfect person for your modeling thing. Like, you know, like, let's literally like think about this for a second. And so after further investigation again, well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just finish the story and then we can debrief afterwards. So we go to the sugar factory, and he immediately is on the phone. He was just like, I'm sorry, I have to take care of business. Like, I'm sorry if I'm being rude, da, da, da. So we go inside finally after we're outside for like 15 minutes while he's on a phone call. They're like, sorry, sir, we don't have any seating. You guys can sit at the bar. He's like, I know the owner of this establishment. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you guys have leaves in the front. Like, I'm just like, whoa, sir. Like, it's not that serious. Like, oh, my lip gloss is falling down. I was like, sir. I mean, I didn't say that, of course, but in my head, I'm like, I don't like when people do the most when I'm there. Like, please, like, let's act civilized. Like, let's act like we have some home training. Like, please. So this man he's just doing a lot. He's just like, I know the owner, and he name drops the owner. And then he was like, do you know who that is? He says that to the server. The server's like, oh, of course, sir. Like, then after he says that, they like take us upstairs, because I never knew there was 2 levels to the sugar factory, but they take us upstairs, and he was like, see, like, this is special treatment. Like, you have to utilize the people you know, all this kind of stuff. He was like, you have to get used to the special treatment in life, all this. I'm like, and he was like, and I'm gonna report them because they clearly had seats up here, but they wanted to sit us at the bar. Like, I'm like, it's not that serious. Like, it's really not that serious. It's really not. So anyway, so we're sitting and we're talking. He's like, so have you ever modeled? He's asking me questions about modeling. And he's like, I think you would fit here. I think you just have a light to you that I really don't see much. Guys, don't fall for that. Don't fall for, oh, you're just so different. Like, it's just this thing about you that is so, they use that line on every single body. Don't fall for that. So he says that, and you know what? I'm just like listening to him, and everything he says sounds good. Like, he's like, I am opening this modeling agency and I want you to audition for it, da da da. So that was just how we ended the dinner, you know, or ended the sugar factory meetup, whatever. So after we end the sugar factory meetup, okay, like, I will be in contact with you. Like, I think you will be great. You need to get out there more. You need to network more. So I'm really buying into him. I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. Like, I need to do that. Like, I'm really thinking he's like being like telling me, like, putting me on and stuff. And then so he texts me like a couple days later. He says, I had backstage passes to, it was some random person. It was like, I heard about that person. It was like Rich the Kid or something. I think it was Rich the Kid or someone completely just like random, and like, who cares about, you know, no offense to Rich the Kid, but like, you know. So after he said, I have some backstage passes, da da, I was in my bed that night. I did not feel like going out. So I told him, I was like, I don't think I can make it out. And he called me. He was like, you're supposed to be here. Like, this is where you need to be if you're trying to do this and this. I'm like, chill, sir. Chill. It's not that serious. And he just made it seem like every time he told me I needed to be somewhere that I just had to be there, which was kind of weird. And then, okay, I've been doing this for like 20 minutes. I have not even done anything else with my hair. Let me wrap it up in a ponytail. I want to do, okay, let's see. So anyway, so that was just kind of like weird, I guess. And then after that happened, he invited me. He's like, we're having like a casting call, like, you need to be here, like, people are gonna they want to see you, da da, like, hyping me up like people were gonna be waiting on me specifically. Guys, I get to this bando, because that's how I would describe it. Like, he was like, it's a studio, my homie owns a studio, and like, you really should be here to showcase your talents, all this. First of all, I'm like, what talent? Like, I really can't really do much anyway. But he was like they want to see you, like, da da. So I drive to this location, the ghetto. The location was the ghetto. The studio was ghetto. It literally was a room. It was like in a basement. It wasn't even the whole building. It was in the basement of some random like office complex. They had one room with like, you know, the mic that like hangs down from the ceiling. One room with that, and like it was like a booth, but it had no equipment. No equipment. Nothing that told me this was a legit studio. So I get there. I walk in. And there's a room full of it's 2 guys, including the guy I'm telling you about, and it's like 3 girls. We're all like, I see them and they're sitting on the couch, so I just sit on the couch. They're like, okay, finally you're here. Okay, so I'm just like kind of like, what's going on here? And then since the girls got there before me, I guess it was their, like, they had to like do their spotlight before mine or whatever, like show their talents before me. So we were waiting there for like a good hour, and I'm not even exaggerating. It was like over an hour, and they didn't explain anything. They didn't explain why we're there. They were just calling girls into the studio, and like they would talk to them, have a talk with them, and then they would send them out, and like they would leave. So I'm just like, what is this? Like, what in the world is this? Like, this is some foolery. This is some foolery. So I'm like, yeah, this is insane. This is very sketchy. Like, at that point, I was like catching on. Like, I forgot to tell you guys, like, by this point, I was catching on. Like, I could tell that he was just hyping himself up, and he would like say a lot, but it would just not be like that, like, legit. Before he takes this one girl in there, me and her are talking on the couch. I'm like, so how did you meet this guy? She goes, oh, he saw me walking, and he said that I am just, like, he really said that I should model. I'm like, our stories were identical. Everything that he did with her, everything that he did with me, he did with her. So he told her the same thing that he told me to get us to think that we could be some top models, that we could do this. So that was just when we were like, oh, we connected the dots. We were like, okay, we see what's going on here. Like, you're just trying to recruit people for whatever you're trying to do. Anyway, so he finally called that girl in, and then she was back there for like 30 minutes with him, and then it was finally my turn. This man, I get in there. He's like, okay, show me what you got. Like, show me your walk. Show me how you approach, like, the camera. Like, show me the angles. He just wants me to do all this stuff, but, like, without instruction. Like, he's just telling me to do a model walk. Like, sir, I could have sent you a video of this. I did not have to come, like, 30 minutes away and wait an hour for me to do, like, a walk. And mind you, it only took me, like, I was only in there for, like, 10 minutes. So I waited an hour to be in a room with this guy for 10 minutes for me to show him my walk. And he was just like, I'm just trying to figure out where we could use you, like, da-da-da. And that was when I was like, this is a joke. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, you just had me come out here to see if I, like, what you could, like, what? It just, nothing was making sense at that point. And I can, guys, I take complete, like, responsibility for my actions, because I am sometimes, I have had my naive moments. And I'm admitting this is one of them. So after that, me and that girl exchanged numbers, because she was actually cool and she was normal. So me and her exchanged numbers. And then after that, we were just like, yeah, we're never doing whatever he says again, because he was just weird. Like, he would just like make false promises. He would lead us on, telling us that we need to do this, and it would just be like so like low budget. It would be so fraudulent. It just would not be professional. Like, it would be ghetto. It would be so ghetto, guys. So that's my third story, and that just taught me, don't listen to what everybody tells you. Do not just take everything with a grain of salt, because these people will try to finesse you. They will try to just sell a dream to you so fast, and they think that since everyone's in the city and they all want a dream, that you're just gonna like deal with it. So please, guys, let's use common sense. Like, let's move forward and all collectively use common sense in these scenarios, because now I know better. Like, there are so many, like, that's what I said, like, when I say that this city has taught me, you gotta put a wall up. You have to like people have to earn your trust, because they will just try to pull one over on you so fast, and you just don't want to fall into the wrong situation. So that's why I'm a cautionary tale. Please take every one of these stories as a lesson, and learn from me, please. And yeah, guys, I hope, and I'm just honestly, I thank God that I am here, because I wish I could go into more depth about more situations, but this video is already too long. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this kind of video, please let me know. I can make a part 2, because I have so much more I can say to you guys. But this is just kind of the introductory of like me. I don't even finish my hair, guys. I'm gonna have to finish this off camera and then show you guys the finished product, because I'm clearly talking too much and I'm not focused on what I need to be doing. So I'll update you guys in like 10 minutes about what my final result is. And yeah. Hey guys, this is the first time I've ever tried this, and it's not as ugly as I thought it was gonna go when I first did it. So wow, it kind of looks cute. So yeah, this is the hair, this is the makeup. I will show you guys, I know I just said I'll show you guys the final look. I will show you guys what I end up wearing right before I go out, and then that'll be the end of the video for real this time. Okay guys, this is the finished look. Wait, let me show you guys. I'll show you guys the full thing in a minute, but this is the hair. It keeps falling down even though I keep like curling it, so I don't remember how to make it stay. But the hair, it is frizzy. Like, let's not pay too close attention to the hair. And the fit, I'll show you the fit in a second. And it's a Thursday, so we're not even trying to go that crazy. This is just chill vibes. Chill vibes only around here tonight. But yeah, so yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I feel like it was really long. I hope I could help somebody not make the same mistakes I have made in my life. Let me show you guys my eyes so you guys can take me serious. So yeah, I hope that you guys will not make the same mistakes that I have made in my life. I hope that video served as a cautionary tale to somebody. And oh yeah, let me show you the outfit before I leave. This is the outfit. You can't really see it, but it's just like a black shirt, a black top. There it goes. I really don't like it now that I see it like this. Anyway, and yeah guys, I hope you guys liked that video. I hope somebody could take something from my stories. I will see you in the next one. Bye.